all my beautiful little unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa and I, and I would like to welcome you into the fam. So in today's reading, we're going to figure out exactly what's coming for you within the next 6 months. We're going to be talking about your love life, your career, your personal life, and any other information that the divine has to offer in order to help you be prepared for the next 6 months of your life. Today's pick a card reading video is another one of my infamous pick twice readings, which means that you will be able to not only pick one of these 4 groups, but once you have received your corresponding reading, you will be able to pick again in order to add on to your reading, making this prediction ultra detailed, ultra personal, tailored to you. And because there will be so many different combinations of readings and groups, you can rest assured that the reading you receive is as personal as it possibly can be. Because you guys know my channel is not only here to provide you with healing as well as revitalizing energy, but also to provide you with highly personalized divine messages and advice. So let's get into it. Round 1 begins here. So first you're going to pick one of these 4 groups. The 4 groups are as follows. Group number 1 corresponds to the Howlite as well as the Witch's Wisdom Oracle deck. Group number 2 corresponds to the Red Jasper as well as the Divine Animals Oracle deck. Group number 3 corresponds to the Black Obsidian as well as the Starseed Oracle deck. And group number 4 corresponds to the Orange Calcite as well as the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. But as usual, the timestamps to all 4 groups can be found down below in the description box as well as pinned to the comment section. So I will now give you a moment of privacy to meditate on the 4 groups. Feel free to pause the video right here if you need a little bit more time to select your round 1. So hopefully by now you've been able to decide which group that you want to go with to begin with. Keep in mind that after you've received one of these 4 readings, you can scroll down into the description box and fast forward to where you can choose round 2 of your reading. And of course, if you cannot make up your mind and there's, say, 3 groups that really speak to you throughout the entire selection process, then feel free to tune into 3 readings. After all, your personal reading may be a mixture between multiple groups. So use this video in a way that resonates with you. Use it in a way that makes you feel calm, relaxed, and gives you the healing vibrations that you came here for. There are absolutely no rules to tarot or spirituality, and I want you to make use of that. But anyways, you guys, I don't want to make this intro too long, so I will be starting off with the first group, which corresponds to the Howlite as well as the Witch's Wisdom Oracle cards. So if this is the group that you chose, keep watching, and to all of my other lovely groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1 and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Howlite in conjunction to the Witch's Wisdom Oracle deck. Let me show you a quick close-up of the Howlite crystal so you can get acquainted with its vibration and what it looks like up close. There we go. You may have chosen this crystal because of its looks, but maybe also because you felt drawn to its energy. The Howlite is a crystal that has very calming and relaxing type of energy, which is maybe something that you need within these next 6 months. So let's figure out what's coming for you. First and foremost, group number 1, we have candles, and candles in this case stand for magic. So I can definitely see here that within the next 6 months, a lot of things are going to happen and a lot is going to transpire that's going to make you feel as though there is some sort of magic that's in the air within your life. I can see here in Yule that the next 6 months are going to feel like you're going through some sort of highly personalized rebirth. So a rebirth that isn't far off of just pure magic and makes you feel as though this is far from reality. Like the next 6 months are going to go by in a really magical way that you never thought possible. I can see here in Mabon that balance is something that will be restored within these next 6 months, and that's something that the universe is trying to draw into your life. So if right now you feel as though balance is something that you're struggling with, or like it would take a miracle or some real magic for you to find balance in your life again, do not worry, group number 1, as I can see here that the next 6 months are going to leave you feeling as though all of the kind of personal equilibrium, the personal power that you've lost from being burnt out or from feeling like there's just way too much for you to do in a day. All of that is going to be swept away, and you're going to find as though your energy has been recharged and you're able to get things done again. You're able to go make the best of your life again. I can see here in the Two of Cups that the next 6 months are also going to be filled with romantic love. Yes, group number one, the Two of Cups is all about that romantic love. It's all about, you know, those warm, fuzzy, cozy feelings, snuggling up to someone, getting close to another human being in a romantic way, and just overall enjoying this alone time, enjoying being with that special someone. I can see here in the Page of Diamonds that there is a lot of energy that is grounded. Okay, there's a lot of energy here that is close to Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo energy, so earth sign energy really, and someone who is younger than you, but they may just be younger than you mentally. So if you're an old soul, or you're just overall someone who's very mature, that would explain why the Page of Diamonds is in fact the Page of Diamonds. So even if someone is around your age or older, group number one, I want you to know that this romantic relationship seems as though this person is younger than you because you're an old soul, or just mentally a lot further than they are. I can see here in the Five of Cups reversed, group number one, that to a certain extent you may feel a little bit alone, or you may feel like you have been the victim for certain stages in your life where you did not have to be the victim. Now, whether that was self-induced or someone else put you in that situation, those are all things that you're going to be thinking of. Those are all things that you're going to be kind of debating. But one thing that I do see here in the Five of Cups reverse is that any form of gaslighting is something that you're pushing far away and not allowing anyone to do to you anymore. Now, group number one, gaslighting means when someone is denying your personal reality. So if you have a friend or a family member who always seems to find a way to say that how you remember the story is false or it never happened, that is gaslighting, making you question your sanity or your reality, making you question whether the experiences that you had are truly valid or not. So I see here in the Five of Cups that you are defending yourself from these type of emotional attacks, and just overall you're distancing yourself from anyone who does this type of stuff. I can see here in longevity, group number one, that you're truly going to be taking care of your body. You're truly going to be allowing for yourself to eat healthily, to exercise, to work on your longevity rather than just doing a lot in the moment. And it's going to be for you more about spreading things out. Okay, so rather than feeling really burnt out and engaging in all of this like toxic work and hustle culture, you are more concerned with the longevity of yourself as well as any business ventures in your life. And I do see here in fertility that this has to do with thinking of how you're going to move forward with building your own family, expanding your own family, and with this person who you're with in a romantic sense. So they're going to make you think of your fertility. Now, thinking of your fertility doesn't mean that you're going to immediately want to necessarily like expand your family or start your own family, but I do want you to know here, group number one, in fertility, in conjunction to the Two of Cups in longevity, that you at least want it to be an option. You at least want to know that if you do change your mind, or if you do want to settle down with this lover who you're going to be with within the next 6 months, that the option is there. So you're taking good care of yourself. If you're already in a committed relationship, I do see here that it's essential for you to be healthy. It's essential for you to ensure that if you do decide to move forward with adding to your family with your partner, that you're able to. I can see here in leadership, aka the broccoli, group number one, that taking the lead on your life is an important part of this rebirth, and is the whole reason why this rebirth is even able to take place, because taking charge is something that is way overdue. So I see that the next 6 months are going to benefit from that. I can see in the pansy that that is going to make you you very attractive to your partner or just anyone who you're maybe interested in being with romantically. And something is definitely working out. We saw that here in the Two of Cups, and in conjunction to the candles, this is like a romance that feels like magic, that feels too good to be true, but at the same time, like, you know it's true and you know it's finally here, and you're just going to enjoy it. You're not going to ask yourself if you're deserving of this type of romance. You know that you've put in a lot of work, and you know that the more you doubt, the more you kind of endanger the romance, or you put it in a situation where it may be in jeopardy. So you're not doing that, okay? You're not jeopardizing your romantic life. You're actually enjoying it, and you're actually also enjoying being the center of attention. I can see here in the horseshoe, group number 1, that for the next 6 months, good luck is ahead of you. Good luck is by your side. And this is always a really favorable message to deliver for any reading, really. So this is a great sign. I want you to look forward to all this amazing luck that's present for you. And I can see here in the turkey that there will be a lot of fun within the next 6 months, okay? Because someone may be behaving in a bit of a, like, okay, let's just say it, a bit of a stupid way, a bit of a dumb way, but making you laugh. So if you feel down, I can definitely see here in the turkey that another human being, or maybe even a pet of yours, is going to behave like a little clown, like a little turkey here, just to make you smile, just to make you feel as though life isn't to be taken that seriously. So any type of clumsy or comical situations are so welcome within the next 6 months. I can see here in the boat that you have money or property that's coming towards you through an inheritance, winning, or a windfall, okay? So just somehow more earthly abundance and more earthly wealth kind of just falling into your lap, kind of just becoming a part of your life out of nowhere through a coincidence. So it could be through an accident, or just, you know, a tragic event in your life if there is a passing of a loved one or a family member, but it could also be that someone that you didn't even know was a part of your family passes away, and all of a sudden you find out that you are in fact an heir or an heiress to some property, or to some extra money. I can see here in the club that someone may try to make you do something against your will. So it may be someone trying to have you give up your part of the share against your will, or make you believe as though you aren't deserving of this. Because keep in mind here, when you are lucky, which you are, you know, we have that here in the horseshoe. So when you have a lot of luck in your life, there can tend to be people who are jealous. Group number 1, let's just be honest. There can be people who do not want to see you enjoying this lucky time in your life. And especially with added financial wealth, with added earthly inheritance and wealth, there may definitely be, you know, some people who are looking at you in a way of feeling jealous, envious, and as though you're not deserving of it. And I can see here in the Tower that those friendships and connections are coming to an end. So people are really going to show their true colors within these next 6 months, group number 1. So I want you to be aware of that, and I want you to kind of also cherish that, because who wants someone around them who doesn't truly want them to succeed, right? So when you have this money or property that's coming towards you through a great business move, an inheritance, or just overall like windfall, just a coincidence, and you see some people getting an attitude with you, or some people not being as happy as they really should be, you know exactly why. I can see here in the 5 of Swords that rather than allowing that to follow you for too long, or to overthink that, I see that you're going to move on pretty quickly, group number 1, and you're going to understand that anyone who isn't happy for your success, especially in the earthly realms, that you need to let them go, because the earthly realm is something that is so three-dimensional, right? It's something that is in a way still a lot simpler than the spiritual realm. So how could those people ever understand a spiritual transformation or journey that you're going through if they're already very jealous when it comes to you acquiring more financial success and financial assets. So you might as well distance yourself early on. I can see here in the King of Coins, group number 1, that this just fits in so beautifully with the rest of your reading. The King of Coins is basically the king of money, the king of the earthly realms, and that is who I see you morphing into. And you have a great connection with other earth signs. We spoke about that in the Page of Diamonds, and that potentially being who you're with in a romantic sense. But group number 1, the King of Coins, I definitely also see a very shrewd business person, someone who is assertive, and someone who is making great financial decisions. Next, we have the Knight of Coins. So this whole coins theme is carrying on. You have a lot of earthly energy, so there will be a lot of changes in the next 6 months in your life when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your money, as well as the things that you own. So you building assets is a big part of the next 6 months. I can see here in Lightning that controlling your anger is important, especially when you're faced with adversity or when you're going up, not against, but going up, speaking up to someone who is clearly jealous of the success that you have been able to accomplish and garner within these last 6 months. I'm saying it as though we're already 6 months in, but group number 1, it's important for you to control your anger, or you will truly be sorry. You will truly feel not embarrassed, but like you shouldn't have given that person the satisfaction of making you angry, of annoying you, or of just having you act in a way that's out of your character. I can see here in the clouds that any problems within the next 6 months, group number 1, are going to be very temporary. So just like clouds, they move away and you will be able to see the sun behind any issues that show up. That is one thing that I see for any difficulties or challenges that are coming towards you within these next 6 months, group number 1. So it looks as though sailing is going to be smooth and easy from part 1 of your reading, but group number 1, ensure that you pick a part 2. Ensure that you add on to this reading. Again, all the timestamps for part 2 are down below in the description box, so make sure that you fast forward, pick your part 2 in order to receive more personal messages about the next 6 months that are coming towards you and your life. So I'll catch you over in part 2 of your reading. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the red jasper as well as the divine animals oracle deck. Let me show you a close-up of the red jasper so you can get acquainted with its energies and vibrations. So this is what the red jasper looks like. It's a bit more of a matte and porous stone. It is so gorgeous and holds so much powerful energy. Let's move into your reading to figure out what's coming for you within the next 6 months, shall we? First and foremost, we have the wolf. Now, group number 2, in the wolf, I can see authenticity coming out of you, and authenticity being a big part of your journey for the next 6 months. Now, authenticity means being true to yourself, being real about the things that you desire, and also not being afraid to express your wants and your wishes to other people. Remaining authentic in every situation, whether that's in front of friends, family members, co-workers, your boss, you being real with everyone around you. I can see here in the hair that you're going through different cycles, and when getting to know yourself and getting to know your true authenticity, because we all change is inevitable, and I do want you to know here in the hair that while you may go through some phases where you're not quite confident enough to be as authentic as you'd like to be, and you maybe hide certain parts of yourself, or you have a face that you put on when you're at social gatherings, you have a face that you put on in front of your family, you have different versions of yourself for different sort of events, so to say. Group number 2, that doesn't mean that you're inauthentic. You're just going through a cycle of properly getting to know yourself, properly getting to know your new authenticity, your new growth, before you can step into it confidently. I can see here in the shark that there is purpose behind this, and the next 6 months are going to reveal a lot more of your life's journey as well as your life's purpose. purpose, the reason why you're here. And this is one thing that I can truly vibe with, and maybe you can vibe with too, group number 2, that every living being on this planet has some sort of purpose, a purpose to give, a purpose to teach, a purpose to receive. We all have different reasons why we're here and different things that we embody as human beings, different lessons that we're meant to learn and meant to teach others. And that is one thing that I see that is connecting you so greatly to your divine purpose here on earth within the next 6 months. We have the red-crowned crane. So one thing that I can see in the red-crowned crane is loyalty, and loyalty in conjunction to the wolf and authenticity is all about you being loyal to yourself, being loyal to the things that you love. And this is something that I've had a lot of experience with, group number 2, and I just want to share this with you. If you have friends or family members who really aren't into like spirituality, or they really aren't into the things that you're into independently of spirituality, you know, it may be that you're really into environmentalism, or you're really into hiking, outdoorsy things, or maybe you just love knitting, sewing, creating businesses, whatever it is that you love. If you don't have anyone who you feel is in your corner, who you feel can really embrace it, but rather people are like side-eyeing you or even making fun of you, that's okay. You don't need to give into that or feel weird. One thing that I can see here in authenticity, as well as the red-crowned crane, is that you are going to remain loyal for the first time, like 100% to the things that you love and to the things that make you happy. And for the first time, you're not going to feel like the odd one out. You're not going to feel as though something is wrong with you. You're not going to allow anyone to have that type of power over you anymore, group number 2. You're going to remind yourself that you staying true to the things that you really love, that is like the recipe for a fulfilled and happy life. Other people coming in and just saying negative things, or making you feel like the odd one out, making you feel like the weirdo, that just shows that they either don't have a lot going on in their life, or they're maybe unhappy. They are maybe jealous or envious about you stepping into your highest purpose, you stepping into your authenticity, and you finally reaching a point in your cycle that we spoke about here in the hair, where you're embracing it. You're embracing it unapologetically to bystanders, to people on the outside. And this is definitely something that can cause some to feel a certain way and let that out on you, but don't allow that to make you feel like there's something wrong with you, group number 2. You're just living your best life. I can see here in the sorrel that there is still affection that is around you, okay? So don't feel like these next 6 months are going to be lonely 6 months, not at all, okay? I can definitely see here that affection is a big part of it, and I can see here in the Kent pumpkin that you're going to connect with someone who is just as productive as you, and maybe productivity is something that people in your family or just around you aren't really that used to or aren't really that into. They'd rather watch TV all day and complain. They don't want to learn about growth and about anything beyond the physical realm, and that's okay. But I can definitely see here in affection in the sorrel as well as the Kent pumpkin that you're going to be able to connect with someone who you feel gives you a lot of love as well as support, and you can both learn together. You can both vibe with one another. That is one thing that I see here in productivity. Funny enough, in the Kent pumpkin, which corresponds so much to being productive and productivity just as a whole, it does come here with this little Cancerian sign. Let me just show you. Funny enough, I am a Cancerian in my sun sign, for any of you who didn't know. It's right here. So who knows? Maybe I am the one who's meant here in the Kent pumpkin, and I'm going to be a reoccurring part of the next 6 months within your life, group number 2. Because keep in mind, like, I'm here to support you. I'm here to be the big sister, to be the person who you can always come to for support and who understands what it's like to be different. I mean, I live it every single day. I can't hide it because this is my job, right? I do this for a living, so there's no way I can hide behind it, and I too have to put up with repercussions of being authentic and being loyal to the things that I love. So if there's someone who gets it, group number 2, that's me right here. So let's move further into your reading. Next up, we have act as if your partner is here. So I can definitely see here that the universe wants you to know that within the next 6 months, whether you have someone in your life or not, romantically speaking, just act as though you were with someone. Act as though that self-respect is something that you're going to preserve no matter what. Never lower your standards or allow someone to speak to you in a rude manner. Like if you knew that you had someone backing you up in every given situation, and you go to work or you go into some sort of social setting and people are rude to you, but you're alone, back yourself up like a best friend would back you up. Back yourself up the way I would back you up, group number 2. Someone is being rude to you, just, keep it classy, of course, and just tell them like, hey, I don't appreciate you speaking to me this way, and I would prefer from here on out that you address me like this, that you respect these boundaries that I have here. So these are things that I want you to keep in mind over the next 6 months and to continue to embrace, because one thing about people is that they love to overstep boundaries, and this could be a real cultural thing too. Like if you're dealing with a culture or some sort of background where, say, elders or people of a certain social status or certain educational class status, whatever we want to call it, they, for some reason, can't do any wrong, and for some reason, they can disrespect whoever they want, however they want, and it's okay. They get away with it. And if you're breaking that mold, of course, you will meet resistance, but I also want you to remind yourself that wanting to be equals with people, wanting to see people on like a level playing field, wanting to see eye to eye with people and not be talked down to, that is not too much to ask, and it's not something that they should be allowed to make you feel ashamed of. Next up, we have love is all around you. Group number 2, and love is all around you. I can see here that for the next 6 months, there is love everywhere all the time. Like, simply acknowledge this as truth. And love is even there when you're furious, when you're angry, when you don't think that there's any love involved in a certain treatment that you're getting, because it's going to be 6 months, right? There will be ups, there will be downs. It's not just going to be all authenticity and purpose and roses and positivity. Of course, there will be times where you feel like you're lacking in love. Of course, there will be times where you feel as though you're alone on this journey, but there is definitely a big supporter of yours. You just have to acknowledge them, you have to look to them, and you have to make quote unquote use of that connection, that friendship. It is important for you to surround yourself more and more with content and people that align with your purpose, or at least don't try to interfere, at least don't try to make you feel like the odd one out or the black sheep. So let's move a little further into your reading. So next up, we have the carriage. So in the carriage, I can see here that this is a journey, a physical and mental journey. The carriage is a symbol of that, group number 2. So I definitely want you to get ready for it. Get your snacks ready, get everything prepared, but remind yourself here in this carriage, symbolically, there is no roadmap, okay? There is no final destination that you set out to go to. It's just sort of like an adventure. So take everything that you need, make sure that you're organized, make sure that you bring everything along in order to make yourself feel comfortable, but remind yourself here that this is a never-ending journey, right? That's what life is all about. Next up, we have the dog far away. So I can see here that a distant friend is thinking of you and is thinking to come back into your life within these next 6 months. So a friend that you maybe haven't seen for a long time, maybe they moved away, or you just kind of lost contact, if you will. It fizzled out. I can see them getting in contact with you again and trying to see where the friendship could go. I can see here in the fly that you may feel a little depressed. Okay, the fly is a symbol of ill health or depression, so feeling kind of down. So I'll just put that right over here with love is all around you, and you really needing to realize in your down moments that love is all around you and that we're not not separate from one another, okay? You're not separate from other people, even if they try to make you feel that way. And to remind yourself here that if you see the negative in it, or if you allow other people's negative emotions to seep through to you, to seep through into your little safe haven or safe space, of course you will feel depressed, because not only will you feel less like yourself, but it's also like you're allowing them to violate your boundaries. And this is definitely something that I can see that you're susceptible to if you do not continue to remind yourself that your spiritual side, or the side of you that believes in a greater purpose than just going to work, coming home and doing the same thing all over again the next day, or like going to school, going home and doing the same thing till school turns into a job. Like, if you believe that there's more to life than that, then of course when you're on the same energetic playing field as people who just want to say do like a 9 to 5 and don't see any greater reason in life, and maybe complain a lot or have a lot of ailments, that may rub off on you. And that's not to say something negative about people who are going through that phase. We all go through different cycles, as we spoke about in the hair, but at the same time, you know, some people are a lot more rigid, and some people definitely don't want to change, definitely don't want to evolve. So try to stay away from those. Try to keep close to people who like evolution, who aren't stagnant. I can see here in the hat that you will be playing a very different role. So most likely within your career, all of a sudden things are going to change, and you're going to be able to have more responsibility within your career, to have more responsibility within the job that you're doing, and play a different role in your family as well. And this may mean actually, from what I can see here in your reading, that in your private life, you're stepping back, okay? You're taking on a smaller role because you understand that you've maybe gone way too far. You've maybe surpassed some people. Your maturity level is maybe in a playing field that your friends or family, that your coworkers, they just don't understand. They just don't get it. So rather than exhausting yourself trying to explain, or exhausting yourself taking in their energy with these energetic kind of like transferences that are not helping you, that are not useful to you, you're simply just putting up a little bit of a wall, a little bit of an emotional shield and border to protect your energy from theirs, and to keep your energy and what you've cultivated a little separate. And this is not about creating separation between you and them, but it's more about creating separation between, you know, your energy reserves and your beliefs, and them being allowed to have their energy reserves and their beliefs. So there is a distinct difference here in feeling as though we're very separate and very different people, and just keeping what you've cultivated in a safe space. Next up, we have the Yule. So in the Yule, I can see here, group number 2, that the next 6 months are going to feel like a big rebirth, and feeling as though you're a quote unquote hypocrite, or people making you feel that way, people saying, oh, you've changed so much, or I don't even know what I'm allowed to say, you're so sensitive nowadays. You know, people like to say all types of things like that to make you feel like there's something wrong with the change that you've been through, rather than saying, wow, this is so beautiful, how sensitive you've become, how many things that you're noticing that other people don't notice, or that I've never noticed. I mean, you know how it is, group number 2, we all live in this world, in this society, so we understand that there are people like this and there are people like that. So it's important for you to protect yourself from anyone who might make you feel self-conscious about your change and your rebirth, so you can continue to embrace it. I can see here in the spell that your manifestation powers are on a whole another level, group number 2. These next 6 months are great for you to really get into manifesting. So write down the things that you desire, write down the things that you're trying to accomplish, and put like really pen to paper, group number 2. That is the most effective way for you to manifest. Don't just speak it into existence, definitely write it down. Another thing I could recommend is praying with mala beads, praying with prayer beads, doing manifestation with that. So this is not something that is like necessarily religious or spiritual. It's just a practice that monks used in order to repeat a mantra many times using their beads during meditation. So I'll leave prayer bead links down below. They're a really powerful tool because not only can you meditate using the beads and, going through all of the beads while you meditate, counting them so you said your manifestation and your mantra a certain amount of times, but you can also wear those beads. So now those crystal beads become so powerfully charged with the things that you're trying to manifest, and you're taking that into your day-to-day life. Just imagine what type of effect that may have. Next up, we have the magic circle. So I can definitely see that would protect you, okay? Putting some sort of intention or manifestation on crystals that you can bring with you. It could be, for example, using prayer beads. It could be using just a little tumbled crystal that you have, a little crystal jewelry that you have. All of the orders in my online store, they come with little tumbled crystals that you can put into your pocket. So, they're just like maybe this big. So you can source those from anywhere, group number 2, okay? You don't have to necessarily spend money. It really just depends on what you feel would be more powerful for you. But I can definitely see here in the magic circle that protecting yourself by putting amazing energy into an item that you can bring along with you into real life is going to protect you immensely. I can see here in the spirit that there's like this initiation happening for you within the next 6 months, and you're going to feel like you're a part of a divine circle, just like in this magic circle, right? You're a part of this divine clique, of people who believe that there are still powers and energies out there that have yet to be explored, that science has not been able to explain at this given moment in time, and that we are just so potent and we have so much more potential than society and our community has taught us. So that is one thing that I can see here in spirit, that you're stepping more and more into your powers within these next 6 months and realizing just what a powerful, beautiful living being that you are and how much potential that you truly have, group number 2. So we are nearing the end of part 1 of your reading. Now what you can do is scroll down into the description box and pick your part 2. So it's really like a personal reading, and you're receiving even more detailed information about the next 6 months of your life, group number 2. So make sure that you do that. There's a reason why I create these 2-part videos, and it is because I don't want to spare any time or energy in trying to give you as many divine and accurate messages as I possibly can. So if you made it to this part of the reading, leave a little rabbit emoji down below in the comment section to let me know. And without further ado, pick your part 2 to add on to what was part 1 of your reading. So thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll catch you over during part 2 of your reading, group number 2. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Black Obsidian in conjunction to the Starseed Oracle deck. Let me show you a close-up of your stone so you can get acquainted with its energies and vibrations. This is the Black Obsidian. This is one of my favorite stones. It's a very protective stone, and it's definitely one that absorbs a lot of negative energy. So if you're looking for a way to get rid of negativity, the Black Obsidian is your best friend, group number 3. That may be why you chose it, but maybe you also just liked its exterior appearance. Let's move into your reading to figure out what's coming for you within the next 6 months. First and foremost, we have the karmic relationships. In the karmic relationships, I can see here a lot of soul growth that's happening for you, and also in a sense a lot of confronting and conflicting information. So you may be delving more into your ancestry, more into your heritage, where your family stems from, and also what your traditions really mean and what traditions you've maybe lost along the way. So I can definitely see you rebuilding a connection, and that also in a sense may be straining certain relationships within your life, because some people may be afraid to go as deep as you like to go, group number 3. I can see here in We the Hathors that deep love is something that you feel is all around you and is really something that gives you the support that you need. This birth being almost like a portal to this divine existence that you're in, that is filled with love, that is filled with a quote unquote mother's milk, and understanding here that you're not just a child of like your birth mother, you're also a child of this universe, a child of this planet. And especially if you have a strained relationship with your birth mother, this can really be something that gives you strength and support and makes you feel like you don't have to rely so much on that one relationship being good, because unfortunately a lot of times relationships with our birth mothers can be strained. They can have a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of us maybe simply don't have a relationship or don't have a relationship anymore that we feel is fully supportive. And that's where the karmic relationships come in, and there could be a little bit of a conflict of interest that seems to show up. But nevertheless, group number 3, I want you to know here that within the next 6 months, knowing that you're a divine child of the universe is something that can really give you the strength and support that you need to get through difficult times, especially if you feel like you've been cheated and you don't really have the parental support that you wish you had. I can see here in lifting the veil that you're questioning everything, and a lot of people who don't like to question anything, they will see that as a threat. And I can see here that anything unaligned has to go. And to you, within the next 6 months, it doesn't matter whether it's a childhood friend, whether it's a parent or a sibling, a coworker or a boss, anything that isn't aligned, when you lift that veil and you truly discern who this person is and how much effort that they put into you and making you happy, and you realize that maybe the effort just isn't really there, or they're not really trying very hard to go out of their way for you. Meanwhile, you've done a lot for other people. I can definitely see here that the unalignment is something that you just don't want on your journey anymore or in your life anymore, and that you're going to make certain cuts. And it's not about pushing people away. It's really just about preservation of yourself and preservation of your energy. I can see here in big picture thinking that this Pleiades energy, this energy of, the 7 sisters, the stars, I can see here that this brings you a lot of inspired ideas and truly this visionary thinking. And you're connecting with people who have big ideas as well. You're connecting with people who have this big picture thinking and who feel as though, hey, if 1% of people on average succeed or get healthy, if they have like a severe illness or are able to build their own business or do the things that they love, why can't that be me? Okay, so I can definitely see in this big picture thinking that you're embracing those types of thoughts rather than feeling like the 1% means that it will definitely not be you. You see yourself as that 1%er in everything. And those are very confronting thoughts and confronting ways of seeing yourself for some people. So again, you do not need to allow that to affect this very potent energy that you have surrounding you in the next 6 months. You can just simply choose to keep those thoughts private and keep people out of your energetic field who you feel are kind of like dragging you down when it comes to that. Next up, we have a perspective. Yes, group number 3, to you, it's all about perspective. None of the little earthly things matter. So if this is like our little earth and, this is the universe, it's crazy how tiny we are. So this is planet Earth. So you can imagine how tiny your country is, group number 3, and how tiny you are, and how nothing actually really matters all that much, right? It doesn't matter that much whether someone likes you or not, whether you keep this job or you lose it, whether you get that new house, that new car, whether you get that item or you don't. It doesn't matter whether you have a good relationship with your neighbor, your mother, or a childhood friend. It really does not make a difference. So it's all about perspective, and it's all about reminding yourself that in the big picture, if you zoom out, none of that really matters. So you might as well just live your best life. You might as well just not allow for anyone to stress you out, and allow for relationships that just organically fit into your life and flow, and don't make you feel like you're the black sheep, don't make you feel any sort of heavy emotions. You might as well just invite those in, let those flourish, and anything that doesn't flourish, well, I mean, there's so many other things going on this planet. you are not going to miss anyone as long as you stay open to making new connections. I can see here in the beetle, group number 3, that there is good fortune ahead of you. Oh, this is so awesome. I'm going to put this right at the center of your reading. Leave a little beetle emoji down below in the comment section just to further manifest that and further solidify this good fortune that's coming for you. As I can see here in bread, wow, we have now a period of prosperity and abundance. Group 3, wow, you really have some awesome things coming for you here in the next 6 months, which I'm so excited for when it comes to you. So make sure that you embrace all of this good fortune and prosperity. Don't feel like, oh, well, everything that goes up has to come down. Okay, you can be a being that never comes down. You can be a being that always rises up and always sees things from a perspective of love, good fortune, and abundance. And that is just going to be ever increasing in your life. If you allow yourself to feel abundant, to see things as abundance, you will continuously have an increase in abundance within your life because you see no lack. You're connected to abundance. Next up, we have flowers, happiness. Wow, group number 3, your reading is really the most favorable one. I don't see how this can get any more favorable. This is amazing, group number 3. It looks like the next 6 months are going to be filled with a lot of happiness, good fortune, prosperity, and abundance in the earthly realms, but also emotionally speaking. So having such a favorable reading is something that I want you to get excited about, and it's definitely something that I want you to note down. It's definitely something that I want you to take along with you. Next, we have the 8 of Wands. So in the 8 of Wands, things are going to move very quickly because things are going so well. Movement is happening rapidly. Change is coming and going very rapidly. Just overall, all of these new developments are going to be happening at lightning pace. So take photos. Make sure that you capture the memories. Make sure that you make little videos, that you document it, that you journal, and that you allow yourself to capture all of this so you can look back on it and think to yourself, wow, these 6 months, like the rest of 2021 or whenever it is that you're watching this reading, group number 3, it was really amazing for me and it was the time of my life. I can see here in the 9 of chalices that emotionally speaking, you're happy whether you're alone or in a romantic relationship. It's just important for you that you're not surrounding yourself with anyone who's stopping your bag, as we have here in bread, or stopping your good fortune, as we have here in the beetle. Happiness is the epicenter. We spoke about that in the flowers. I can see here in the Justice card that you understand that yes, you could feel guilty for taking action for yourself and for putting yourself first, but at the same time, what's the point? When you see things from this perspective of zooming out and realizing that nothing really matters all that much. Again, this is planet Earth, so you can imagine how tiny we are. This just gives you like a nice little feel of what zooming out may look like. You will begin to understand that it doesn't really matter that much what you do. So you might as well live your best life. You might as well do it in a way how you're making yourself happy. You're not causing any harm to anyone, but at the same time, like, you don't become a slave, or you don't feel like you're bound in chains because of guilt or because of what society tells you like you should or should not do. As long as you're not harming other innocent living beings and you're doing the best to be a responsible human being that you can do, everything else is really up to you, group number 3. I can see here in the Ace of Coins reversed that putting off business ideas is something that you may be doing for the next 6 months because everything is going so great. So you're really leaning into what's working within the next 6 months rather than trying to start something new. And guess what, group number 3? I actually think that's a great idea. I actually think that's a really good thing, to not spread yourself too thin, and to truly just work on the ventures that are already in your life. Don't spread yourself thin. Don't try to start too many things in a haste. Become an expert. Become someone that other people see as an expert in your field and really solidify your position. I can see here in the sorrel that affection is something that is going to be a part of your next 6 months. So affection from other people. I can see here in the chili that together with stimulation, this seems to be romantic affection. Okay, this seems to be something very spicy, something very not PG-13, if you know what I mean, group number 3. Next up, we have the fig. So I can see that your vitality, or just the adventurous side of you, is going to be triggered, because vitality has a lot to do with also making use of your body, right? You are given this one body, take good care of it, and also use it. Like, get out there, sweat, do things with your body. You want to grow old used rather than grow old rusty, right? Group number 3, that is one thing that's just like one quote. I can't remember who said it, but I absolutely love that quote. Like, grow old used, don't grow old because you're rusty. Next up, we have the carrot. So in the carrot, I can see a lot of clarity here within the next 6 months, group number 3, and a lot of you just like understanding what vibe you're on, what kind of energetic frequency you're on, and where you're heading, not allowing anyone to get in between you and the experiences that you still want and everything that you're trying to have come together in your life. You know, you'll always find a naysayer for anything, whether it's traveling, whether it's exploring other cultures or helping other people, helping animals, doing the best you can for the environment. There will always be someone who tells you it's too dangerous or you can't make a difference as just an individual, X, Y, and Z, which is absolutely not true. Because if, for example, I would have believed that I can't make a difference in anything and I would have never gone plant-based, I would have never started my channel, like, yeah, of course I wouldn't have made a difference then, but I believed that I could make a difference. And look at things now. I have so many beautiful little unicorns who are a part of my family, who I can vibe with, who I can connect with, who I can support on a like weekly basis, multiple times a week through my content. And this is stuff that naysayers will never be able to do because they just don't believe it's possible. They just don't believe that they can have an impact. So they project that onto you. Don't let that affect you. Group number 3, if I can do it and if I can build a business, a lifestyle, helping people and living my purpose, then so can you. Next up, we have the dahlia. So in the dahlia, I can see here that the next 6 months are going to be you refining your skills, you refining your path and where you're heading on your path. So you truly just doubling down on creating a good niche for yourself. And I can see here in the P, communicating what this message is that you're putting out into the world, communicating and refining communication of what it is that you're here to do, of what your life purpose is. That is a big part of the upcoming 6 months. So think of communication and refinement as, for example, if you would like to have a YouTube channel, refining how you can film videos and exactly what topic that you're going into, you know, creating that niche. For me, my niche is tarot and spirituality, right? Your niche may be something completely different, but that's what I mean with learning what you're communicating, how you may communicate it. Is it video format? Are you doing a podcast? Are you going to be, you know, singing? Are you going to be creating music? Whatever it is that you're going to do, refining and figuring out what your portal of communication is, and reminding yourself that vitality and truly living is doing things that you know you've always wanted to do. Because the only thing that you will regret is never having tried and getting old, rusty, getting old and being worn. Those are things that you will not regret. Now, group number 3, this is part 1 of your reading. I really hope that you enjoyed it, but there's still part 2 waiting. So you get to pick another pile of cards in order to receive part 2 of your reading. Scroll down into the description box or at the top of the comment section in order to access where you can pick your part 2 so you can receive a truly personal prediction about the next 6 months of your life. Now, group number 3, thank you for being here with me, and I'll catch you over during part 2 of your reading. Hello group number 4 and welcome to your reading. So you chose the orange calcite in conjunction to the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. This is the beautiful orange calcite. This is what it looks like. Stunning choice, group number 4, and the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. I will leave that linked down below in the description box. This is one of my favorite oracle decks right now. You should definitely check it out. So first and foremost, we have the tree. So I can see that for the next 6 months, there is going to be a sense of letting go and a sense of you knowing that certain relationships have come to an end and you have outgrown those. I can see here in the witch that justice is coming. So group 4, I can definitely see that you have been done wrong and that the next 6 months it's going to feel as though karma is really doing its work. So someone who has hurt you, someone who has done something to you that they really shouldn't have, that was them letting out their insecurities and their anger onto you, projecting their mishaps onto you. I can see that that's something that is going to come back to haunt them, as you know, the energy that they put out is the energy that they're going to reap. But at the same time, ensure that just because someone hurt you doesn't justify you thinking negatively about them or about yourself and putting yourself in a position where you're now seeking revenge. Okay, keep in mind that the same goes for you, group number 4. What you put out is what you're going to receive. So only put out love as well as acceptance for yourself and others and their mistakes. I can see here in the shark that it's best for you to just swim away from the situation, okay? There is no point in going into some sort of disagreement or fight with another person. There is no point in trying to battle it out with someone who clearly doesn't want to respect you or clearly doesn't want to acknowledge your boundaries. It is important for you to know here in the shark what battles are worth fighting and what battles are best for you to just stay away from. I can see here in the sword that you make the change in group number 4. You truly do, and it's important for you to reflect on who you want to be and who that you want to see yourself as. So don't think about what you would like to tell people who have hurt you or who have done you wrong, but think about what would make you proud. What reaction would make you feel proud if you were looking in from the outside and you would see yourself and you would see how someone did something to you that made you feel like you have no choice other than to let them go. What type of reaction would you like to see from yourself? You'd probably want to see yourself pick yourself up, move on, and live your best life and not allow that to affect you, right? So make sure that you remind yourself that you can do that and it is your choice and it is in your power to make the change that you want to see in this world, to be the change that you want to see. I can see here in the sundress that it's important for you to do it for yourself, group number 4, for nobody else. So if somebody is trying to get you to do something that you're not comfortable with and you realize that it has nothing to do with doing it for you, but someone is okay with you making yourself feel uncomfortable just for, you know, their own benefit, then it is definitely time for you to just swim away, okay? Move away from the situation because it is not beneficial, and that just kind of like opens the gateway to emotional abuse, okay? Because when someone still pushes you to do something that you don't want to do for the first time and they succeed, who's to say they won't do it again, group number 4? So don't feel like you're just doing a favor like one time. If you make it very clear that you're uncomfortable doing something and someone still pushes you to do it, not a good person to be around, not healthy, group number 4. Next up, I can see here in I'm sorry that it's so important for you to right past wrongs with yourself. Group number 4, I see a lot of inner child work. I see a lot of work that you are doing with yourself in the next 6 months, of being kind to yourself, of telling yourself that you're sorry for being so hard on yourself at certain points in your life, and just reminding yourself to be defenseless when you're in your meditation, when you're dropping down and allowing yourself to receive messages from spirit. Even if you don't want to receive those messages in the moment, and even if maybe this entire reading makes you feel mildly uncomfortable, group number 4, that's when you know you need it even more. It's just like working out. The things that you, like the exercises that you really dislike, that you, so to say, like hate, those are usually the ones that you need the most and would benefit from the most. So see that here within this I'm sorry card, and remind yourself that if something makes you feel uncomfortable, there's a reason why, and it's essential for you to explore rather than to just swipe it under the rug. Next up, we have the portals. Group 4, in the portal, I can definitely see here that that is something that will be opened up as soon as you allow yourself to get comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. Okay, doors are opening, you decide, and there will be rewards for the fact that you're opening new portals, because opening new portals means that you're opening the doorway to new experiences, to new possibilities. If you stay in your own little area and you never open up a new portal, then of course you will just always experience the same thing. So the portal is kind of a bit of a wild card as well, because you don't know what to expect, but at the same time, so much potential lies in the unexpected. And expecting the unexpected allows for you to be truly open-minded, and allows for you to actually be able to manifest new things. Like if you're not 100% happy with where you are financially, romantically, in your personal life, like the only thing that can change, that can bring you that happiness, is if you allow for something completely new to come in, right? Because maybe you're not happy with things right now and how they are right now. So of course, if you're only splashing and pondering within your own possibility, or the possibility that is here right now, that you've already explored that, like then there's nothing new that's going to come in. You already know what's within your little pond. But when you expand into, you know, new horizons, when you expand from your little pond to a river, to a lake, to an ocean, then all of a sudden there is so much more depth, so much more to explore, and so much more potential for possibility that is positive. I can see here within the breadth of the cosmos that it's important for you to try to not micromanage situations, because when you open this portal, you do run risk of trying to micromanage everything and trying to make sure that everything is just positive and everything works out well. And that is so understandable. Group number 4, don't judge yourself over that. But at the same time, when you're micromanaging, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of opening this door, of opening this new portal of possibility and trying new things and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and the things that you know. Because when you micromanage, now again, you're limiting the possibilities, because you're creating like a new comfort zone in a new place. So it's just like the same thing in a different country, the same thing in a different dimension, the same thing walking through this portal in a new space, in a new environment. So remind yourself here that micromanaging is something that won't do you any good. It'll just kind of stifle your chances for growth, really. Next up, we have you're not for everyone. Group number 4, I cannot emphasize this enough. This is something that I had to learn the hard way, that embracing your weirdness is really the best thing that you can do for yourself. Kind of procrastinating that or being too afraid to do that, it's just a waste of your time, because you are going to try to be friends with people who don't want to accept you. You're going to try to please people who just have no interest in truly getting to know you, or have no interest in truly appreciating who you are. Even after you've pleased them and you've done everything that you can do for them, they will never do the same in return, nor are they interested to have you feeling seen or heard. So I do want you to know here that you're just not for everyone, and there's no point in trying to please people who are difficult to please right from the beginning. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if it's a teacher, if it is a coworker, or if it is your own freaking parent. Group number 4, okay? You are not for everyone, and that can even mean a close family member, and that is okay. Embrace yourself and your weirdness, because at the end of the day, facing your true north, that is where you're going to find your highest potential. That is where you're going to be happy. That's where you are going to thrive. But making yourself smaller or kind of downplaying the things that you love just to make somebody else feel more comfortable. It's like, don't waste your time doing that, okay? Don't waste this precious time that you have in this earthly existence not being yourself and not embracing yourself. It is just a truth that we are not for everyone as much as we would like to be for everyone. Different humans do not respond to each other, while others are really well with one another, are kind of like on the same wavelength, and that is completely fine. That's completely okay. Thankfully, there's so many humans out there who are on your wavelength, group number 4, and who would love to continue surfing down the wavelength that you are on. Just make sure that you don't waste time with other people who are at a completely different beach catching completely different waves. Next up, we have the angel. So in the angel, I can see a lot of spiritual guidance and protection from harm. And this is maybe something that allows you to take a big breath of fresh air, group number 4. Just breathe in through your nostrils right now. Take like a full belly breath. Allow for the corners of your mouth to just gently move upwards, for a little smile to come over your face, and leave a little angel emoji down below in the comment section, or a candle emoji, whatever you prefer, just to let me and others know that you claim this, and that you claim this message of spiritual guidance and protection from harm being present for you within the next 6 months. I can see here in the broken bridge, group number 4, that there may be an unsuccessful outcome to a problem, and this may definitely have to do with the fact that you're not going to try to people please anymore. You're done with that. You're moving on from that. You're not putting yourself through that anymore. So once that bridge is broken, it is hard for you to rebuild it, but it's probably for the best with certain situations or people. You may even feel like just quitting your job and trying something that resonates more with you. And that is another area of your life where you may have a broken bridge, because you just feel as though you can never go back into a job or into studying something that you're not passionate about. Next up, we have the tortoise. In the tortoise, group number 4, an important message for you for these next 6 months is to remind yourself that slowly but surely getting ahead is so much better for the long run than trying to do something really quickly. There's no such thing as, quick money, quick success, quick manifestation. It's all an accumulation of being consistent over a long period of time. Anything that comes really quickly goes very quickly as well. So think about things in nature, anything that is birthed or develops very quickly, whether it's an animal or a plant, it also dies down pretty quickly. But things that take a long time to be created, like just think, for example, crystals and their energetic frequencies and vibrations, they have been in the crust of the earth under the weather, temperatures, just different forces for thousands and thousands of years, sometimes like millions of years. And these stones, of course, are really hardy. You can't just destroy them so easily. So keep in mind here that anything that's worthwhile, anything that's worth something, is most likely going to take a little bit of time to grow and develop when it comes to earthly success, when it comes to your career, and also when it comes to relationships. You can click with someone really quickly, but to create that kind of trust and intimacy, it definitely takes time. I can see here in the fire that there is strong emotion and passionate love or hate that is here for you for the next 6 months, group number 4. So passionate love or hate, that's definitely something that I can see in conjunction to the tortoise, that strong emotions are here at the forefront, but you're definitely going to keep at the back of your head that there's no point in passionately hating, especially passionately loving, yes, but maybe not giving someone your all before you truly know them. So this is definitely something that you're trying to embrace. They're a bit like two polar opposites that you're trying to juggle. The tortoise with the slow but sure approach, and the fire, which is just very strong emotion that's moving very rapidly. I can see here in the dagger that you have some fears and some worries that are going to be addressed and that are causing these emotions. And a good way for you to get that under control control, group number 4, it's definitely meditation. You know, if you need to get yourself prayer beads, they really help with meditation. Monks use those to help in meditation with mantras. They repeat their mantras over and over again using the prayer beads in order to kind of like count the amount of times touching each bead as they go along with their meditation. I will leave the links to some crystal prayer beads down below in the description box so you can check those out, because once you have prayed with those, you can also wear those beads and they will just be supercharged with amazing manifestation powers. So that's a great way to prevent you allowing for fears, worries, and tense situations and these strong emotions to take over. And then we have the door. So last but not least, for part 1 of your reading, group number 4, in the door I can see great opportunities waiting for you. This moves in so beautifully with the portal, opening that portal, going through that door, and you being the one making the decisions ultimately. So group number 4, you are really meant to be empowered for these next 6 months, and you are the one meant to go through the door, to open the door, and to use the key that you've been given. So this is part 1 of your reading. Now you can scroll down into the description box or to the top of the comment section where I have pinned the comment, so you can pick part 2 to add on to this reading to receive an even more personalized and accurate 6-month prediction with all of the things that you're being called to look out for. So group number 4, thank you for spending this divine time with me, and I'll see you over during part 2 of your reading. Welcome to where you get to pick part 2 of your reading. So I have 4 groups prepared for you here, and you get to pick one of these 4 groups in order to receive part 2 of your reading. So you're not only benefiting from the healing and relaxing energies of this video, you're also able to receive a reading that feels like it is a private reading because there are many different combinations and choices. So you know that the combination of groups that you choose is truly unique. So the 4 groups that you may choose from in order to add on to your 6-month prediction are as follows. Group A corresponds to the Shiva lingham, Group B corresponds to the smoky quartz, Group C corresponds to the kyanite, and Group D corresponds to the mountain crystal. I will give you a quick moment to meditate on the 4 groups. Feel free to pause the video if you feel like you need more time. So by now, you've hopefully made up your mind as to which group you'd like to choose in order to receive part 2 of your reading. I will be starting off with Group A, and to all of my other lovely groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello Group A, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Shiva lingham, Group A. This is such a beautiful crystal, it's such a beautiful stone. I love how it looks like a pill, Group A. Very telling why you chose this. Just kidding. But let's move into your reading to figure out what's coming within the next 6 months. So we have the moon as well as the sun. And this is really amazing, Group A, because we have this polarity, and the sun is a very favorable card, and the moon is a card that shows that your intuition will be on point across these next 6 months. Let's start off with the moon. In the moon, I can see that you're going to be able to manifest in a very powerful way using the moon and its different cycles, and you will feel very connected to it. In the sun, I can see that everything is going to be kind of surrounded by a very positive kind of cloak, by a very positive vibe, because the sun stands for warmth. It stands for feeling like you're complete and like there's nothing that's really missing. Okay, the sun is a card that speaks of an amazing time worth celebrating. Next up, we have the 7 of Cups. So I can see here, Group A, that you have lots of different choices that you can make within these next 6 months. And I do see here, in conjunction to the sun, that you're going to make choices that reflect things that make you happy, that reflect your happiness in a way that you've never done before. So truly putting yourself first, as well as doing things intuitively, because feeling like you should have listened to your gut over and over again just makes you feel like, why am I even deciding on doing things, thinking rationally or making rational decisions when I always wish that I would have just gone with my gut feeling? So you might as well start doing that. I can see here in the Temperance card reversed that you don't don't need a reason to do that. You don't need to justify why you're going with your gut feeling, group A. It's something that you're entitled to. It's something that every living being is entitled to. Animals would call it more instinct, but I would say for us human beings, let's just call it gut feeling. Let's call it intuition. And I can see here in the Temperance card reverse that it's really time for you to not feel like you have to justify your decisions, especially when they're made intuitively. Group A, I can see in new love that there is an opportunity for love within the works that's coming towards you here in the next 6 months. I can see here that this new love is going to allow for a lot of spiritual growth. So this is someone who is super connected, who believes in the energies of the moon and believes in not only the amazing vitamin D that we get from the sun, but also the fact that the sun is so much more than just the provider of light and life on this earth, but it comes with a lot of potent energies. I can definitely see that this is something that you can connect over when it comes to this new love. If you are in a relationship, group A, then know that someone is coming into your life who is highly interested in being with you, romantically speaking. I can see here in slow down that pausing and allowing for things to unfold is the best thing for you to do for the next 6 months, group A, because you may have been just running or cruising through life at 100 miles an hour, and there's definitely a time and a place for that. But I see that when it comes to love, specifically, you're being called to slow down, take it all in, and also really enjoy love in your life. Really enjoy being an object of desire for another beautiful spiritual being, and not because they just find you physically attractive, but because they find you spiritually and internally super attractive. And that's always the best feeling, because then you don't have to feel self-conscious. Then when you're intimate with another person, you don't have to ask yourself whether they think that you're physically attractive or not, or whether, they can see that you haven't properly groomed yourself, or they see your stretch marks or your uneven skin, or, bumps and lumps. I mean, whatever it is, I can definitely see here that being connected in a spiritual and deep way removes any of that awkwardness when being intimate with another person, and is something that you're embracing within the next 6 months, is something that you're going to be able to experience because you're choosing to do so. So that's why the universe wants you to slow down, group A, and really enjoy this experience, and enjoy for maybe the very first time not having to think twice about what you look like, or what the lighting is like, or what your body may appear like to another person, and just feeling fully and wholly loved for who you are, not what you look like. Next, we have the stock. So in the stock, I can see here that you're super focused just on your decisions and your choices. And that's something that's really awesome and providing you with a lot of energy and happiness. That's one thing that I see in conjunction to the sun, group A. So when you're focusing on things that you're passionate about, on your choices, right, on the decisions that you make, that is something that makes you happy. I know it makes perfect sense, but nevertheless, a lot of us don't put our energy into our choices. We put our energy into other people's choices more than our own. I can see here in the chili that there's a lot of spiciness around you, and I can definitely see that in conjunction to your love life, okay, and really enjoying being intimate with another person and potentially this new love, slowing down and taking in a intimate experience with another human being that just loves you unconditionally. And I can see here in the Temperance card reverse, all bets are off, okay? You're trying new things intimately, you're trying new things in your romantic life, and you're not holding back. So the next 6 months are really going to shape what you like physically and intimately. I can see here in the cucumber that emotions are running really high, and there may be some ups and downs, but being emotional is not a negative thing. I know a lot of us are always taught that it's not good to be too emotional or to show any emotions, but I do want you to know here in the cucumber, which corresponds to Cancer as well as the moon, this just shows that the more you allow for yourself to make intuitive decisions, the more really in tune with your emotions that you need to be, because when you're not in tune with your emotions, or you continue the cycle of deeming being emotional as a negative thing, then you're actually kind of becoming very calloused. You're becoming very desensitized, not only to difficult things, but also to happiness, love, and feeling whole and complete. So remind yourself that just as much as emotions may embrace difficult feelings, they also embrace the best feelings, the most wonderful ones. Next up, we have the carrot, group A. So in the carrot, I can definitely see here that the more you get in tune with your emotions, the more you feel like it's very clear what the next steps are, and it's very clear to you what you want to do in your romantic life, what you want to do when it comes to any types of romantic partners, and how you want to continue to embrace that. So let's just move a little further into your reading, group A. We have the tent. So in the tent, I can see that you may temporarily move to a different place, or just temporarily have a different living situation going on within these next 6 months. So that is something that is going to be very different and may come with some emotional ups and downs. And I can see here in the boot that you're being called to increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Okay, so to not let little temporary situations like here in the tent, not let that slow you down or stop you, but to just allow that to build up your resilience, and for you to understand just how capable that you truly are when you allow yourself to put in the extra work, even if you already feel like you're tired or like you've been tested enough when it comes to your career. Don't be afraid to go through temporary situations, putting in everything that you can in order to achieve your goals, but make sure that you set like a time limit so you don't burn out, or you don't make it a habit to, for example, like work 7 days a week, and then it turns out that it's not something that you just did for like 3 weeks, but it turns into 3 months, and then before you know it, 3 decades go by and you haven't had a vacation, because now it's just become a lifestyle. So pick and choose when you want to put in your efforts, okay? Increase your efforts, but when you do go for it like 100%, group A. So this is part 2 of your reading that I received, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. Leave a little carrot emoji down below if you made it to the end of part 2 of your reading, group A. Thank you so much for sharing this divine space with me. I really hope that this brought you clarity as well as relaxation, and know that I'm sending you so much love, and I'll catch you in another one of my readings. Hello group B, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the smoky quartz point. Let's do a quick close-up of the crystal that you chose. This is a beautiful smoky quartz point. I absolutely love these quartz points. They are so beautiful. I will leave the link to these down below in the description box, because I do carry points like these smoky quartz points that are a lot bigger in my online store. So you can feel free to check those out. These smoky quartz points are excellent negativity repellers and suckers. Okay, so they just kind of take in the negativity and remove that out of your space. So we have the 7 of diamonds as well as the high priestess, aka the high priest. So I can see here in the 7 of diamonds that for the next 6 months, group B, you're going to feel as though your earthly ventures are growing. So whatever seeds that you've planted in the earthly realms, whatever you've invested your time or maybe your money in, be it stocks, be it another investment, be it a business venture, I can see here that yes, you have a lot of responsibility of taking care of those crops, but at the same time, you know, they're flowering, they're flourishing, and just overall things are moving up for you in the earthly realms over the next 6 months, and you feel as though there's no reason to not be content. Next up, we have the magic circle. You are protected, group B. You are divinely protected, and this is always an amazing message to receive within a reading. So I do want you to know here that any business ventures, any earthly realm ventures that you move into are going to leave you feeling as though nothing can really go wrong, and like you can just lean back, relax, chill, and allow for things to build, allow for things to develop. You don't have to be worried. You don't have to micromanage or overlook things too much. You just make sure that you're taking care of your responsibilities and that you're taking care of your part of the equation, but also just let things be, especially if you're talking about business ventures or financial ventures like stocks, like real estate, like investing in a business. Some things just take time, so don't play around with it. Once you've purchased the stocks or once you've purchased the thing that you want to flourish, give it time. Next up, we have the villain. So in the villain, I can see here that you have the power to rewrite your story, and you don't have to feel like you're the villain or the bad guy, especially if you come from a home or a background where you were the black sheep or you were the scapegoat in a situation. You may have internalized that, Group B, and this is maybe something that you've carried with you, but you have the power to change that narrative and that story. So I can see here over the next 6 months that it's really about you kind of breaking that shell that you've put yourself into, or that tune that says you're the villain. Okay, you can destroy that. You can put an end to it. You don't have to wait for anyone's permission or for anyone to tell you that you aren't the villain, because you might be waiting forever, especially if you're waiting for those same people who made you the villain to free you from being the villain. Next up, we have the morning. So in the morning, I can see here, Group B, that you have a lot of responsibility and the world really does await you. I can see here in the High Priestess, the High Priest, in conjunction to the morning, that, you know, moving up in the professional world, moving up in the financial realm, and when it comes to your assets, does mean that certain people are waiting on you, and certain people definitely want to hear your opinion and definitely want answers from you, be it on how to move forward or be it just a little bit of expertise that you are able to give them. Next up, we have expectations. So I can see here in expectations that it's best for you to not seek anyone's approval. And we already spoke about that here in the villain. Okay, you don't need for anyone to approve of you changing the narrative, rewriting your story, especially if your story is not one that you chose to begin with and you're trying to rewrite a story that was put on you, that was placed on you. You do not need someone else's approval, okay? And even if you are moving forward from a story that you created a while back, but you have realized that you have outgrown this person that you thought that you were, again, you don't need anyone's approval to move on, to change, or to evolve. Just like a caterpillar doesn't seek other people's approval when the caterpillar knows that it's ready for its transformation into a butterfly. Next up, we have the throne. So I do want you to know here, Group B, that your potential is endless, in case no one has ever told you. And it can feel very sad to come to the understanding that a lot of us have never been told that our potential is endless. And I'll be like the first one to admit it. You know, sometimes I feel really sad for how little my potential was seen through, be it by teachers, be it by family, be it by friends. And I do want you to know here in the throne that you don't need other people to put you on your throne. You can create your own throne, okay? If I can do it and I can create my own little magic circle, my own throne, my own kingdom for myself, then so can you, Group B. So don't ask or seek anyone's approval on allowing for yourself to feel like you're the kick-ass individual that you are. Next up, we have you've got the love. So I can definitely see here that you having love within you is something that is important for you to create boundaries as well, but also lift boundaries, okay? If someone has proven to be trustworthy, allow them to come in without you being codependent, okay? Allow them to be a part of someone that you love very deeply. Allow them to be a part of your heart, a part of your existence, without feeling like you can't do without other human beings. But in independence is something that I see as a big part of your next 6 months. Group Group B is what I meant to say. So codependency is not something that I'm too worried about with you. I can see here in your Not For Everyone Group B that embracing your weirdness and facing your true north is really the most important thing that you can do for yourself to set your soul free, to allow yourself to just feel limitless, happy, and like your potential is endless. So don't try and please people who have already decided to dislike you before even knowing you. Don't try to please anyone who isn't happy with themselves or who you don't look up to when it comes to accomplishments, both financially, physically, or emotionally. Don't allow unsolicited advice to change how you feel about yourself just because someone feels the need to give you their 2 cents that you never asked for. So Group B, this is part 2 of your reading that I received, and I really hope it resonated and that you enjoyed it. Let me know down below in the comment section by leaving a little shell emoji that this is the group that you chose, and also as a token of good luck. Thank you for spending this divine time with me, Group B, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos. Hello Group C, and welcome to part 2 of your reading. So you chose the beautiful kyanite. Let me show you a close-up of your crystal. This is what the kyanite looks like. It is an absolutely beautiful blue stone that is very powerful when it comes to leveling out any type of emotional situations that you have going on. Let's move into your reading to figure out what's coming for you within the next 6 months, shall we? So we have the 10 of Cups reversed as well as the herbal kitchen. So I can definitely see here in the 10 of Cups reversed, Group C, that there is emotional fulfillment and happiness coming for you. Not within like the first month of your next 6 months, but towards the end, okay? There is a little bit of a delay. That is why this card has showed up in reverse, but nevertheless, you have this great love and emotional fulfillment that is here for you, present for you. I can see here in the herbal kitchen that for you, it's all about finding that perfect mixture for yourself. So you're doing things your own way. When it comes to your love life and your emotional fulfillment, you're not listening to others and what they think is best for you. You're doing what feels best to you, Group C. And that's why it's working out so well for you. I can see here in the chalice that fulfillment is a big part of the next 6 months for you, especially when it comes to love. So think being with a soulmate or a twin flame. And in conjunction to the 10 of Cups reversed, as I told you, there may be a little bit of a delay of this fulfillment, but don't let that discourage you, and don't make you feel as though your own mixture and your divine way of living and being isn't good, or like you should maybe revert back to old ways, okay? Change and transformation is something that is powerful, inevitable, and very helpful, because when you fight against change, when you try to stop change from happening, you're really just in the way. You're really just creating friction. So get out of the way and allow for things to develop in the way that they should, Group C. We have the carrot next. So in the carrot, I can see a lot of clarity that is coming for you, and just your love life overall being like the first thing that brings you this grand fulfillment, and that shows you that however you want to do things works out great for you. And then you're going to want to do the same thing to transform your personal life in other areas. For example, your health, your emotional well-being, your spiritual well-being. You're going to want to transform your career. Just overall, the inspiration that you're going to get from your love life is going to be amazing, and is going to want you to change so much more about your life for the better. I can see here in the watermelon that fertility is high for the next 6 months for you and around you, Group C. So make sure that you take necessary precautions, or that, you know, you have fun these next 6 months if fertility is something that you've been looking for. But also see fertility as an opportunity for you to have like an adopted animal be a part of your family, or have like almost an adopted sibling. That doesn't mean literal adoption, but maybe you're helping someone and you feel like they're a brother or a sister to you. I can see here in the bay that wisdom is something that you're just oozing, and that is why you're able to help another person, another living being, and provide them with shelter, with with support as well as with love, because you are so full in your own being. You're so whole and you don't feel like you need something else in order to make you feel complete or happy. I do also want you to know here in the Bay that this is connected to the number 22, which is a master number, and it is essential for you to look out for that number when it comes to growing your wisdom within these next 6 months. So what I mean by that is, if you look at the clock at 2:22 p.m. or 2:22 a.m., or you see a number plate with the number 22 on it, and you just had a thought, note that thought, take note of it, and remind yourself that that is some sort of important or meaningful thought that helps you with the increase of your wisdom. Next up, we have faith. So group C, it is important for you to trust your faith in these next 6 months. As I said a little earlier in part 2 of your reading, don't start to second guess or doubt yourself if things take a little bit of time, okay? Because that is exactly what some people want you to do. If things don't immediately go your way, people who maybe thought they knew better will want you to doubt yourself, will want you to question your decision and maybe revert, or for you to even tell them that they were right all along. Don't do that. Have faith and trust that you are making the right decisions for yourself. Group C, okay, things are getting steamy. I can see here in true love that you have this love that is a once-in-a-lifetime love that is going to be a part of your life within the next 6 months, Group C. So this is an amazing card to show up within your reading. If you already have the love of your life within your life, then this is no news to you. But if you are single, or if you've been in relationships that haven't truly satisfied you or haven't truly given you what you've needed, then I do want you to know here in true love that you have someone coming towards you who is a once-in-a-lifetime type of connection and person. But again, you have to make sure that you stick to your decisions and that you don't feel like turning around or going the other way just because maybe manifestations don't come overnight and they're taking a few months, and you get them later into this 6-month span from the time you watch this video. Next, we have love makes a difference. So I can see here that love is something that helps you heal past hurts and provides a sense of security and self-worth to you, Group C. So it is something that the universe wants you to continue to embrace and to work on that self-worth of yours, and to remind yourself here that love is something that can help heal anything. But self-love is an important part of that. You can't just wait for someone else to give you love in order for you to heal. You can create your own concoction to heal with, as we have here in the Herbal Kitchen and the Alchemist, Group C. So next up, we have be in the present and dream of the future. So Group C, I can see here that dreaming is an essential part of your life, and to remind yourself that when you dream, everything is possible, but you can bring that notion and that energy into your waking moments. You don't have to wait for when you're dreaming to be in a state of fearlessness, courage, or in a place where you don't have any pain or suffering. There are beings out there who have been able to achieve states of not experiencing any pain, suffering, or agony. So surely you can help yourself move through most of your life in a very positive space, and in a space where you don't feel like you're constantly ridden with anxiety and pressure. So I can definitely see here that being in the present while at the same time planning a fruitful future is what's coming for you these next 6 months. I see in the Two of Crystals reversed, Group C, that you definitely have some areas of your life that you're going to realize you will have to leave behind. So you may realize, for example, that the job that you're in or the things that you're studying aren't really for you. You may still finish them up though, because the Two of Crystals showed up reversed, so you're not immediately going to take action to change and move on and do something else. But I can definitely see here in the Two of Crystals that the more you're in a space that doesn't completely vibe with you and your morals and your integrity, the more you're telling yourself, once I've gotten my diploma, or once I've saved up enough money, I'm out of here and I'm doing something that truly resonates with me. Next up, we have the King of Swords. So group C and the King of Swords reversed. I can see here that you're going to be very straightforward and upfront with yourself. And this is something that will allow you to make decisions in this way, or to say to yourself, like, yeah, as soon as I have reached a certain point, I'm quitting, I'm out of here, I'm doing something that I've always wanted to do. And one thing that I also want you to know here in the King of Swords is that if you have any type of narcissistic relationships around you, it could be a partner, a parent, coworkers, or a boss, and you feel like everything that you do does not please them, like it doesn't matter what you do, they will always find something to nitpick, or they'll say it's good for 1 second, and then 10 minutes later it's already not good enough, you might as well just do what you've always wanted to do than try to please someone that you can never please anyway, group C. And that is the type of notion that I see you embracing here in the King of Swords, and you're going to be completely honest, straightforward, and just real about things. And these next 6 months are about you and your romantic love. These next 6 months, it's all about you finding your own way, creating a love life and an existence that resonates for you, that reflects your morals and your worldviews, your integrity, your truth. And this is something that I'm so excited for you, Group C, and something that you should be proud of. So leave a little butterfly emoji down below in the comment section if this is part 2 that you chose. I really hope that you enjoyed this, Group C, and I hope that you feel more relaxed as well as prepared at the end of this reading than when you begun. Thank you so much for spending this divine time with me, and I'll catch you in another one of my readings. Hello, Group D, and welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful mountain crystal, Group D. Let's do a quick close-up of your stone so you can get acquainted with its vibration and energy. This is the beautiful crystal that you chose. There we go, nice and crisp. So let's move into your reading in order to figure out exactly what's coming in the next 6 months, part 2. So we have the Beltane as well as the 7 of Crystals reversed. So in the 7 of Crystals reversed, Group D, I can definitely see that finally you're going to feel as though you're no more fighting against adversity, you're no more fighting an uphill battle. Things are moving very smoothly. And I can see here in the Beltane that this means, okay, fertility, Group D. Okay, you're thinking of settling down, you're thinking of starting your own family. This may even be something that you did not picture before, or that you didn't think would happen so quickly, but I can definitely see here that happiness as well as a very spicy relationship, a very physically active relationship is something that's coming for you here within these next 6 months. I can see here in the lady or goddess that we have a lot of divine feminine energy that's just oozing out of you, and that's a big part of the next 6 months of your life, Group D. So embrace your divine feminine and embrace the part of you that is connected to the feminine within you. Next we have Austera. So in Austera, I can see an incubation in correspondence to fertility, that, you know, a pregnancy around you, an incubation of a baby is something that isn't far-fetched at all, okay? This is something that is closer to home than you thought. So think, for example, a pregnancy in you or someone around you. Group D, I said you or someone around you, okay? So if fertility is something that you're trying to be very careful with, this just shows that Austera and incubation, it is a possibility. But whether you choose to go with that possibility or not, that is still your choice. The tarot shows you different possibilities, different ways that you can take, different paths that are before you. But whether you take them or not, it is up to you. So Group D, I don't want to freak you out. I don't want any comments about how you do not want another child or a child, period, because you're too young or you're just in a situation in your life where you don't want that. It is your choice. But I do want you to know here that chances are high if this is a choice that you want to make for yourself. I can see here in the torch that there's a lot of spiritual development that you're doing within the next 6 months. There is this enlightenment, so think a spiritual awakening, an awareness, and a deep understanding. So if a spiritual awakening is something that you have kind of been seeking out, I can see here that the next 6 months is going to provide that for you in some way, shape, or form. I can see here in the butterfly that there's a change coming for the better. Now, how this spiritual awakening is going to happen 6 months from now, it kind of depends, right? If you've been wanting this change and you feel like the spiritual awakening and this is a change for the better, you may have to kind of lay off of trying to get to that point for it to finally happen, because the more you push, the more friction you create. So it's really best when you lay off a little bit of putting pressure on your spiritual development and enlightenment and just allow for the change to happen. I can see here in the target, yeah, you're a goal-oriented person, Group D, and that is most likely also why you try to really push yourself to grow and develop spiritually and to come to new understandings. And this is a really great characteristic to have, because it's better for you to be more goal-oriented rather than not goal-oriented at all, because it's always easier to kind of pipe down your goal-orientedness, so to say, if that's even a word, rather than to come from a place of being completely uninspired to being very goal-oriented, okay? So see this as a plus for you, even if you maybe have to pipe it down a little, as I can see here in the bowl that you have a lot of material things coming these next 6 months for you, Group D, and it may be that there are a lot of things that are coming out that you really want. Think fashion, think technology, think just things in the earthly realms that you feel would really improve your life. And you know, a lot of material things do really improve our lives, and it's okay to own material things, Group D. But at the same time, in the bowl, I do also want you to know here that when your targets or your goals are on material things in the physical realm, you can sometimes lose touch with your spiritual development. But nevertheless, I can see that you're finding a great middle ground and a great path that works for yourself, where you can enjoy nice things in life and at the same time still spiritually evolve and develop. I can see here in the tower, Group D, that you're going to look back 6 months from now and think to yourself that things have completely changed, that you have become a completely different person. And I can definitely see that material things are having less and less of an impact on you. You're no more wowed by, for example, designer things or nice material possessions. You're more wowed by people who have inner peace and a true connection and understanding to themselves, the universe, and others. I can see here in these 6 of crystals, Group D, that you're looking forward to the future. So these next 6 months are kind of like just a warm-up, Group D, okay? It's just a warm-up to an even more exciting future filled with growth and filled with development. So you can definitely feel like this is just a start for you. I can see in the Strength card reversed, Group D, that you're all about finding that inner strength and not having to find strength through intimidating others or through gaining social status. I can see in the Strength card reversed that this is definitely something that comes once a lot of changes have occurred, a lot of spiritual development and enlightenment has come for you, Group D, that all of a sudden you understand that strength isn't about feeling the need to exert your power or show your power or just make it clear that you have power. It's all about being strong and having this inner knowing and not needing to exert your strength, not needing to show others how strong that you truly are. I can see here in the Knight of Crystals, Group D, that you have a lot going on for you these next 6 months, a lot that you're doing, a lot that you're trying to accomplish. As we spoke about here in the target, you're very goal-oriented. So this makes a lot of sense for you to be busy and for you to have a lot of things that you're trying to accomplish. I can see here in the jug that it's going to be a very light-hearted and carefree time. And this is maybe something that you've needed, especially if you're someone who has a lot of anxiety, just an increase in your inner strength, being able to be in a very passionate, physical, romantic relationship, embracing the divine feminine side of you, you know, whether you identify as male, female, non-binary, I mean, whoever you identify as. I can see here in the jug that finally having less anxiety is something that will truly serve you. I see here in the flag, Group D, that you should not be tempted to lower your standards, okay? Especially if someone comes along who physically tempts you or wants to be in a physical relationship, in a strictly physical relationship with you. You need so much more than that. So if someone like that comes along along first. Group D, don't feel as though you should just go along with it. I can see here in the broken bridge that that is just going to be an unsuccessful outcome. Okay, so don't allow anyone to just be with you for your body. You're a whole package. You're a spiritual being. You deserve someone who appreciates every part of you. Last but not least, in the fox, I can see shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. So group D, you have a lot of different strategies that you will implement. You can overcome basically any obstacle these next 6 months. It's just the beginning. So any type of challenge that is being put your way or put forth, you know that this is just the beginning and that you have so much more to accomplish. So you're not going to lose your cool. You are embracing this lighthearted, carefree time, which is something that you truly deserve and truly need, group D. So I'm excited for you to be in a place where there's a change coming, and it's a change for the better, as we spoke about in the butterfly. So group D, thank you so much for being here. Leave a little lion emoji down below in the comment section if this is part 2 that you chose and you made it all the way to the end. Claim this reading by leaving your lion emoji down below. Know that I'm sending you so much love, and I'm so thankful for having been able to share this divine time and space with you, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos.